Okay. Okay, hello, welcome everyone to a new episode of Unveil, and today we're going back to the beginnings. Many of you don't know this, but like I said in the first episode that I showed on YouTube, I entered into an area that is deep, deep, deep in the rabbit hole, and I haven't really gone to the details yet, and now is the time. There has been an opening that we're going to enter today, and we're going to touch on especially two subjects, two main things: Adrenochrome and Neurolink. And if you don't know anything about any of these subjects, don't worry, because I have a guest with us today and he's going to talk you through everything. We are going to go through a different channel, like a movie that we all have heard of and that we all know as The Matrix. And the reason why this is a movie we're going to enter today is because of three main reasons. First of all, the name of the movie is not the original name. The person who takes credit for the movie, the people who are taking credit for the movie are not the script writers. There's someone else behind the scenes. And of course, most important, the message of the movie has been distorted beyond recognition and taken away the things that really were supposed to come through this movie. To get all these pieces together today, we're gonna welcome the actual writer of the screenplay, Mr. Tom Althouse. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. This is such a moment to be able to speak to people in Sweden too, and bring this forward, as this has actually been shut down worldwide. I want to show this right at the start. This is, let me unblur.
Yeah, let's do. Let's do.
Being here. So there we go. So I'm going to reset this to not blur my background so you can see this. So this is the original copyrighted screenplay. It's the only one in existence.
Yeah. And is that from 1993?
This is the 1993 version, and it's the 1998 entry, and this is the one that was used on set in 1999. You'll see the 1998 stamp from the Copyright Office.
December.
So used, and there is no working drafts for Matrix by Warner Brothers. Their attorneys have said this, and it's recorded them saying that. So this is the actual work. And what's interesting is they took that PAU number on there will allow anyone to look up in the Copyright Office exactly this work. So it's not a forgery. We can see it clearly here, And when the signatories make it clear, this is not a forgery like the other side would try to say. And in it, you'll find everything like Jack's the Neck, the train station scene, the red pill, blue pill, little girl pointing the sun, the squiddies, everything's there, the underground. So that's what they got. They had me pitch it fully, and they wanted to appropriate it to switch everything around to basically enslave our society in the future and take God out of it. They stripped God from it. And I'm thinking for the people who are awake, they will know these subjects we're talking about. And I think for someone who's a Christian, maybe they should know something we're talking about. If they haven't heard of a Neurolink by now, and like we told in the Bible, the mark of the beast, and they don't see the connection, then they're heavily asleep. And if they are, we're going to wake them up today, because these things are so intertwined, right? And this is some of the message you're going through, and this is some of the things that is very disturbing, how they twisted it around. It makes me sick to my stomach. So we're going to go through that. And the things you showed us now, we're going to see clearly from some of the scenes you're going to show us, right? Yes, absolutely. And people may note the fall of Elon Musk is very much attached to this whole thing. Elon Musk was put in place to take credit of this tech that is in the screenplay. The tech was given by God through this particular author here, so that it'd be safeguarded. It's like a Pandora's box. So Neuralink was given through me for the purposes of the story that would give glory to God. It was not to be implemented to have it would have control of the population. In the original Matrix story, the Jackson Neck and everything allow control of the population. And so what they did was they wanted to actually find an engineer who had failed and give it to him, that he would control it for them, and then he would do whatever they bid him to do. The cabal in our country and the world, the Warner Brothers, the agencies, would then have him do their bidding by being close to the president. Thank goodness he has fallen from power by revealing himself, and now I am able to step in and reclaim this tech and work that is in the process. But I'm happy to show you some of the proofs of the original work.
Have you heard anything about this? Someone who was working with them when he was a kid, I think she was his babysitter or something. She was really, really creeped out, and she had asked his mother, is he the Antichrist? And she had said, no, but he's going to present to you the mark of the beast. Have you heard this?
That's as I have, and it's exactly true. That's exactly what has happened. I was tapped by the religious right to be the, quote, face of the Christian coalition, to be the enticement, the draw, that face that would draw people in to follow the harbingers of an antichrist. It's really what it was. It's very dark. The religious right is very dark. It's like, I call it the religious Reich. They have a very dark plan attached to the cabal. So I was being, because of the eyes and dimples and such at the time, I was to be that face. Now, Elon Musk was brought in because he has that darkness. He was brought in to replace me and take what God gave through me and then claim it and profit off of that. That's why he's going around sleeping with all these different women and wanting power. That's not what I was groomed to be. God groomed me to be faithful in safeguarding the implementation of the device so that it would not enslave everyone. If you want to see something that is the mark of the beast, that would block even the ability, put inhibitors in place to allow us even to sense our connection in faith, it would be the Neurolink. It would control cerebral functions and cognitive functions, and would also block our ability to have that connection, like cutting our phone line off to God.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad you brought this up already. Could you fill us in a little bit about this grooming process? Because in the elite, there's two kinds, right? You are either you're born into the elite from the beginning and you have the right bloodlines, or you're being groomed, which is, for you who don't know, this is just a fancy way of saying, trying to get people to sell out for money and power and sex.
And yeah, I had the exact bloodlines they were looking for. They made that extremely clear during the approachment to me. And those bloodlines,
you had a choice, right?
I'm from Swiss royalty and the Trakel line. And
Wow.
I was also at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. My ancestor was knighted by William the Conqueror. He was the Frampton. And so I'm from like the Burgundy house. I'm also from the House of David. I'm also from Swiss royalty. I don't say that bragging. I'm saying that
No. This is a fact,
matches.
right?
Yeah, it matches the perimeters are looking for. They are looking for an elite group. They call it elite.
Exactly.
And if you fall into that, then they will utilize you into their plans. If you just say no to what they offer, they find it very insulting, and you become a problem rather than an asset at that point.
What was it about you, except for the bloodline, that you were in the right bloodline? What was it that they wanted from you? What did you have to offer to make them want to put you in a high position? What did you have?
I had the creativity that they didn't, like the genius. They tested me as a genius. That even the CIA had wanted me, and this isn't to brag, but it's the CIA had wanted me to be in their intelligence department, and I had been approached by that. IBM had approached me, recruiters from IBM. Different places such as that, the religious right wanted me to do it. So I'll be with them. So what you have is basically in our country, in the United States, the educational system allows for, and they encourage this, to spot talents among their population as if they are individual assets for that state. And it's very totalitarian. And so what you have is we are marked at a young age if we stand out, if you would say, stand out from the rest. And then their plans are designed around us at that time and the abilities we have. So anyway, the grooming process you're talking about is very important to understand. When you see what actually happens in this process, take Elon Musk. Elon Musk had failed as an engineer. He was actually, they paint him in his documentaries as had been a quiet, gentle boy who had genius. He wasn't. He was a bully when he grew up in his school. He was bullied. And that's why they would want him too, replacing me, who was gentle. But you imitate the party you're taking from. So he said things like in his documentary, he has his own voice saying, I felt outside of the others. I couldn't turn off the genius. That is not true. He didn't have it.
He doesn't have anything to prove with it. No.
That's right. If you do have the genius, that's going to show all over you. And your life purpose will be to try to basically silence the voices of the invention and everything always bombarding you. It's almost like something's turned on. That's what he said when he means he couldn't turn it off. I couldn't turn it off. Creativity just flew at me. I had to create creative product. I had to put it to a point where it meant something to lift our world. Otherwise, it would drive me nuts. So what I did was I purposed myself that direction. And I have notebooks and shelves full of invention, ideas, and works, many that had not been revealed yet. Elon Musk doesn't.
No.
He's the person that will take whatever he can get.
Yeah.
A genius, really, by and large, will want to see how he can use his gifts or her gifts to better the world. Because we're not thinking about the desire Elon has, which is to sleep with as many women as possible, or men in the case of a woman. We are really beyond that. We're at a different level. We want to actually make a difference in our world, make a better world, and actually make a world where we fit and are not. So you know what I'm talking about. So I want to show you something too. I hope I answered the question though, but I'm going to hold it up to you. Watch, I'm going to look like this.
Okay, great.
Here. Now, what I'm going to show you right now is a grooming process. Elon Musk was a nobody. He had failed at everything he had done. He was a failed engineer. And what happened was Warner Brothers and the cabal and the agencies stepped in and said, you're the perfect candidate for the Neurolink. Now, keep in mind, there are two siblings, the Wachowski sisters. Now, they were brothers, and they were forced to be women. They said, when they were given the green light to take my work, they too had failed at everything, writing, college, painting business, all that stuff. They were told by Dean Odles, a exec from Warner Brothers, who claims my title, my copyright. He took and wined and dined them at a dinner and promised them beautiful women, fortune, and fame. What they were doing is bringing failed people to be in-house to claim the work. That's what they did with Elon Musk, bringing a failed engineer to claim the work. Engineers don't usually come up with the tech. Engineers are called upon to implement the tech. They don't design or come up with it. It's like a distribution or a lending firm in Hollywood saying they created a creative product. They don't. They lend. That's their area of expertise, not writing.
Just want to fill that in there, because this is also so important, because the elite, they're depending on people like you, people who create stuff, but only to steal it, to get the credit for it. But the people they are showing off, they're just, like you said, they're just faces, they're just puppets. The whole world really is a stage, and there are actors in every level, not just in Hollywood, not just on the screen, but also behind the scenes. And all of these are just picked from some position if they are willing to pay the price for the fame they want to give them, right?
That is it.
And they steal from someone else and just quiets them down in some way.
They talk about the lion and the zebra. Absolutely right. Very astute. They talk about the lion and the zebra. If I do not want to feed off of others and take advantage and selfishly want gain and take the rewards, then I am considered weak. I'm considered a zebra. And therefore, they're going to consume me and my product and claim it goes under the laws of nature, that the lion consumes the zebra. So all your work is theirs. They talk about this a lot. So I was told I was too nice and I cared too much. Therefore, I would never be accepted, but my work would be taken and given to those that would do the bidding of the handlers, as you described. Now, watch this. So in 2010, I believe it is, after the Wachowskis were given my work to steal and failed at everything, they announced they wanted to do Jacks in the Neck for real. That's Neuralink. That's all through my piece. Jacks in the Neck for real. So they're taking this work and they're going to take the tech out of it. But Warner Brothers did not offer it to the Wachowskis. They offered the story to steal the story. You have your components you're assigned to take. They tell who's going to have it, and they have candidates. Now, in the candidate process for the screenplay, Tom Hanks was involved. They put a copyright saying Tom Hanks ordered and commissioned to write The Immortals. Isn't that something? It's like he was going to be, just like the Wachowskis were being candidates to have the work. They screamed, fussed, and finally were given it. When they got the writing given to them to steal, they got greedy and said on the air, we want to do Jacks in the Neck for real. What they're saying is, we want the credit for the tech also. It's worth a fortune. Warner Brothers slapped them back. They never said it again. And then they started grooming their actual candidate. Now watch this. This is from Warner Brothers. This is Warner Brothers, Iron Man 2, Warner Brothers Connected, where they're going to now first groom Elon Musk. Watch this.
You lower it a little bit.
Absolutely. It can be.
Great. Make it us.
Okay. Mr. Musk, How are you? Congratulations on the promotion. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Those Merlin engines are fantastic. Oh, thank you. Yeah, good idea for an electric jet. You do? Yeah. Then we'll make it work.
What you just witnessed was Elon Musk being groomed by Warner Brothers and the agencies and the cabal to steal the Neurolink, to steal the tech from the original author, which God had channeled through, to take control of it, the mark of the beast. The grooming process. Now let's look at the shaming process.
Yeah.
Again, Warner Brothers, Young Sheldon, popular series. Years later, we have this. Now watch what's happening here. I think people will catch on to this. What is occurring? I'm going to pop this up. I'm going to pause it. Okay, now watch what happens here. Young Sheldon, a series about a genius, right? Elon's not a genius at all. Anybody who's a genius can tell that. These rockets go sideways, they explode, everything goes wrong. The only reason they succeeded in sending up a rocket to rescue those astronauts is because NASA was brought in to hold Elon's hand. NASA was brought in to do their thorough safety checks to make sure his rocket would fly. And what did they find? They found the flaws in Elon's rocket. If they did not have NASA check it, the hydraulic systems would have failed his rocket. Another rocket would have gone sideways. So what you have is Elon fails at everything, even his relationships. Now watch what they do in Young Sheldon. You're going to see the shaming process.
Only due to Sheldon's notebook. The CNN reporter's here to talk to you. Hang on.
What you just saw was Elon playing himself stealing tech from a genius.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Watch that again, or do you get it?
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, now let's watch the final process. So we had grooming before he's given it. He didn't claim Neuralink yet. They do shaming. He hasn't given it yet, not given it yet. No claim on Neuralink yet by Elon Musk, still a nobody. And then you get the final product. Okay, you ready? You got okay, so here is where he's now, the exec from Warner Brothers goes over to Paramount. The exec who handled me in my writing to launder it, to steal it, went over to Paramount and they did Star Trek Rising. Watch what they do in Star Trek Rising now when they're ready to give the tech to Elon after he went through the grooming and shaming process. So here you're going to see something pretty fascinating. One second. And I want people to follow along because you're never supposed to really see these things. You're never supposed to know these go on. Watch what they do here in Star Trek with the Paramount. The Warner Brothers lead attorney in the theft has gone to Paramount, and they're now going to do the final grooming for Elon Musk to bring him fame before they give it to him.
Yeah.
How do you want to be remembered? Alongside Black Brothers, Elon Musk, Stephen Hawking.
Musk Jr. High School.
Now what you see right there is Elon Musk Junior High.
Yeah.
The main character goes to Elon Musk Junior High in that series. And the captain just said, how would you like to be remembered? As the greatest, with the greatest minds in history? Zephyr Cochrane, the Star Trek hero, or Elon Musk? That is the final grooming. That is what's going on before they allow him to have the tech. Now, what's going on here is when they give him the tech after this, it is clear they've established we own it, not you. And you must do our bidding when we put you beside the President of the United States for our purpose for that Antichrist harbinging, bringing the Antichrist. That you will now be in that position because of our decision to have you there. You will do our bidding, or we will pull back our tech with proof that we had it first. And that you were shamed on our own program. So what you've got is that's the process. Now I want to go to share screen if I may. I don't know how much time we have, but I want to share you. This is important. Let me go to the share screen. I'll send the request to share.
Yep.
Okay, going to share. Great job. We're going to entire screen. I'm going to go to share. Can you see my screen?
So, yeah.
You do. Okay, good. Let's now go to the piece that I want to show you. Let me see if I can find. Now I got to find it. Okay, here we go. Where is the Elon Musk part? Come on, Tom. Where's the Elon Musk part? No, don't just, well, after all that buildup, did I just misplace it? Goodness gracious. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to go back since it just disappeared from my computer. I'm going to go on to here. I have it here. Okay, I'm going to hold it up again. Back, stop share for a second. I'll have to do it the other way here, the old-fashioned way. Now watch this. I'm going to do this very quickly for you. Okay, so we're going to go to the screenshot here. We're going to open that screenshot up wide. What you have here is for references for people. This is very important for you to understand all this. Star Trek Discovery, right? There it is. The date, it's done by Paramount. This is 2017, right when they're going to give Elon Musk the Neurolink credit for it while they control it. Now watch what happens in this series here. I'm going to go ahead. In the program, you're going to see this. You're going to hear these, what's word described right there, the captions. It says the neuroenhancer. Well, I called it in my screenplay the neuroenhancer. It was to enhance the cognitive abilities and connect us with a library of memories and share and help Alzheimer's. I intended good. I didn't know what God was intending at the time, but I thought this was going to do some good. So I called it the enhancer. They call it the enhancer in the program. Next scene. Again, the character again says about the neuroenhancer. Now watch why I'm showing you this, because watch what happens in the very scene, the very program. They change it to neuronal link.
Yes.
Why they change it in the program? Why they call it neuroenhancer, which the author called it, as God directed me, to Neuralink, because they're going to use a link to enslave all the population. Before they give it to Elon Musk, they're claiming it the author's name that he had, and then they're giving their own name. Elon Musk didn't come up with Neuralink as a name. Warner Brothers did. Paramount did. The studios did. The cabal did. Isn't that something? With the purpose of enslaving. Now keep in mind this. When Elon Musk put like this, the X, that means the final solution. What he's doing is holding up, remember he did the Nazi salute? I kid you not. I'm not making this up. The X, when he flashes the X, he's giving you in plain sight for you to agree to passively that the final solution is good, that the elite will have their longevity and mortality on this planet that Stanford and IBM are now solving, and that the rest of the population will be eliminated. Elon Musk doesn't care about anybody except himself.
Just to flick in a little bit right here, because this is what's been going on in the last couple of decades, and especially a few years back when we had the shots that would roll out to all humanity. And this is the UN agenda, you know, to lower the population. Bill Gates talks about this. The World Economic Forum talks about this. It's talking about enslaving human beings and to take control of their minds. And this is a direct quote from Harari himself. He said, "We will know how you feel. When you're standing there and applauding the great leader, we will know how you really feel, and you will be in Gulag tomorrow." Who talks like that?
Yes. And the Neuralink, you're right, the Neuralink will make sure it happens. The Neuralink allows them to monitor everything you feel. The room of monitors in the Matrix is in my original screenplay, and I've got the screenshots. If we need to do part 2, we'll show that.
Yeah.
But you'll see the room of monitors belongs to Smith, not the architect. They switched it when they made it up as they went along off a visual storyboard, lifting all the images they thought were cool, and took the story apart and shredded it like chop shopping a car or a Porsche. What they did was ruin the story. But they used everything they thought was cool and just pasted it in as they made it up as they went along. That's why Warner's attorneys say there are no working drafts. They made up as they went along off a visual storyboard of lifting all the images. That's the device they came up with for how to steal the work. What's interesting is if you look at this original page right here, it's very hard to see right there, but I'm going to blow it up real quick here, just so you can see an excerpt from it. I want you to see this and watch what happens. Whoops, sorry. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to blow it up real quick. Let me get right to it so I can actually give it the attention. Okay, here we go. Look at this entry here. I don't know if you can read it. See that boxed entry right there? I'll read it to you. I'm going to read it to you, but if you see the entry, that's from the original pages from the Immortals, the Matrix story. Yeah,
please, Tom, before you do that, because I know this, but the audience probably don't know this, because this is totally unknown for everybody. You keep saying the Immortals. You have to clarify.
Okay, all right, yeah. This title right here, here's the original Matrix story copyright. This is I'm glad you brought this up. The Immortals is what Warner Brothers is copywriting. They're saying they didn't copyright the Matrix title.
No,
it is the Wachowskis that came up with the title Matrix in 1996, but Warner Brothers still holds to the Immortals title.
Yeah, so because Matrix, that was the original name, right?
That's the original name and what Warner Brothers embraced.
Yeah.
See? It was only the Wachowskis that said Matrix. And so in 1993, they're dealing with the Immortals. And the reason you get Matrix from the Wachowskis, they have very simple minds. They took the Immortals letters, reversed them like they did the story,
Yes.
and came up with Matrix. So every letter is there for Matrix from the Immortals. They thought that would be clever. I'm glad you asked. And then what's missing? The X. They add the X, the final solution, to the Immortals. See how deep this is?
Yeah.
And that's where Elon comes in. So I'm glad you asked. So
and this,
yes,
we're going to have to come back to that later in the next session, because this is so important, just because of the name of it and the Neurolink and the Adrenochrome, all of these things in the red pill and the blue pill. These are so heavily connected. But please show us this that you wanted now
real
first.
quick. Trinity character, Trinity, right? The Trinity character. Her name is Monique in the original, because there's actually 3 love interests of Neo. So they called her Trinity. See, it all makes sense. So Monique puts the capsule between her teeth, seeming to smile. As she keeps it away from her lips, she tears her top, exposing a breast. 2 central guards appear. They tackle her hard as 4 more enter the room. They run towards Monique, whose arms are now pinned down. She bites down hard on the blue pill. The blue sparks begin, and the guards dissolve. Now, what's very important is this entry, they loved it, so they put it into Star Trek, the same episodes as promoting Elon Musk, to use up that element of the story. It is the first femme fatale in film history, I'm being told by producers in Hollywood. Now watch how that plays out and how badly they do it to use it up, but do it badly to mock the author. So blue pill is going to be bitten down. This blue pill is going to be bitten down on, right? Bitten down on. Let me just look there. And it's going to cause her to dissolve painfully as she sacrifices herself for Neo, right? And what they do, though, the actress is just evil. I will say she's evil, this actress you're going to see. She does exactly what they want, Star Trek Discovery. When they just promoted Elon Musk, up, down, and sideways. And now they're going to mock in a very important entry of that piece you just read, you just heard. Now watch what they do here. So I'm going to play this for you. Okay, here we go. So Monique's going to take it, bite down hard, die in agony to save the Neo. But watch what they do with it. Takes it. Bites down hard. Looks naively and innocently over, not in pain at all. Just, oh, here I am. Dissolves. And that character says, oh, that was new. That's how they used it up. That's how they used it up. So they take your good work, which is meant as a gift to audiences, as a service to audiences and to God, and they ruin it by dumbing it down. That's why in the Matrix, they hold up a battery. That field of pods, it's not about battery power. It's about the architect using humanity to stimulate his mind, because his mind will lack stimulation in an immortal program. So he needs, that's why his agents stir up trouble outside the program, so that his mind is stimulated. That's why Neo can't destroy Smith and Smith can't destroy Neo in my work. Neo doesn't have Superman powers.
No.
He's an ordinary person, but the architect has not allowed Smith to take Neo out because he needs that stress between them, that hate between them to build, to stimulate the architect's mind. So not until he gives the word to Smith to take Neo out does it happen. And when he does give the word to Neo or Smith to take Neo out, he sets Smith up to fail. Now, so Neo takes his Neuralink and takes it as his own and replaces it to find the dome in the Cortex building. I just said a lot, but when you look at the Wachowskis trying to understand it, they didn't understand it at all. So what they did was just lifted what they thought was cool. But the architect needs Smith and then purges his agents, because he doesn't need them anymore, because the people of Zion are going to come out by an oracle to see him come back as Christ. So you have the pure power of worship to stimulate his mind forever. Now stay with me. So what happens is the architect doesn't bring him out for the architect looking like Christ. The architect brings him out for the oracle brings him out for the real Christ that's going to appear. And the real Christ does appear, the identical figures at the end. And they even keep the scene where the architect, or the architect's son, shoots the Christ. And he looks down and he looks up and only his palms bleed. They kept it in the Matrix. They put Neo in place of Christ. They have his eyes look down, his palms drip blood, and he looks back up. They kept it because they thought it was cool. but they took out the Christ message. You can't take the Christ message out and expect it to tie together. Now, it was voted one of the worst sequels of all time in history, number 11. And the Wachowskis didn't want anything about Christ in it. In fact, when they did galas and events, they were asked a question at a gala, answering all these questions. They were asked, it looks like Christ is in there in many different faiths. They said in answer, that's all the time we have for questions, and then didn't want to do interviews again. You have a very clear signal that they did not want the Christian message in. Instead, they slap a gold cross on Neo in a crucifix position to mock Christ.
Exactly.
And now it's all turning around. So yes, it's all being restored. They didn't know what to do with it. And they even said on set, this is very important. They said on set, this is in articles, that everybody said to blow up the Matrix to end it because they're lifting everything out of context. Instead, what they did was they said, we want to keep the exact same ending. And they did. The exact same ending was kept.
Without the context, without the meaning that it really has. Right?
And trying not to give the glory to God. How can you lift the exact ending? That's why everybody said to blow it up. If you're going to do it atheist style, blow it up. Yeah, you should have. But God is smart. He moved them to keep the exact same ending. In their arrogance, they kept it. And bragged. Everybody said to do it. So the Christ message is there. You can't take it out. And they don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so these things are really showing that they're taking the script, the original script. They're trying to keep the bits and pieces they find intriguing, but they don't want to show you the real message. And we're going to get back to that in a little while, because the red pill and the blue pill, those are the things that have been distorted beyond recognition, and even more, because you mentioned they're taking the Christ out of the picture. And that means that they're also mocking the work that Jesus did on the cross.
Absolutely.
And they're using the blood from the red pill as a good thing. Now, maybe we should just take it right away, because this is so, since we're already
wherever you go, I'm there. So whatever you want to go, because this is all important.
In the wake community now, everyone is talking about, do you want the blue pill or do you want the red pill? And take the red pill, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak, right? Then you're awake, then you want to know, then you want to change the world. But it is absolutely the opposite around. Please touch on that.
Yes, what you have is with the red pill, blue pill. When I submitted it, I was making it so, like here's the graphic that I just hold up right here. So what you have here is they took the red pill and the blue pill and they switched it. And they have Morpheus offering Neo the blue pill and the red pill. It makes no sense. What they're doing is Alice in Wonderland. They're putting in what they're familiar with as they make it up as they go along. So they thought Alice in Wonderland will solve their problem as they lift the work apart. But what you have is, in the original, it is not the red pill and the blue pill being offered at the same time. In the original piece, the red pill is given to Neo by the orders of the architect. The architect has ordered Smith. He doesn't want to give it to him. Smith wants Neo dead. But that, again, stimulating the mind for that conflict, stimulating the architect's mind, the conflict building between them and all humanity is what he wants. So to keep his mind activated. So you have Smith ordered to give Neo the red pill. He lays it to him and says that you've been chosen, but also lays a gun out if he wants to take his own life. But the red pill is based on the blood of the children, their growth hormones, to create a longevity program, longevity pill. So that's what the red pill is. It's based on the blood of the children to create an immortal program, a longevity pill. And they're actually working on longevity now, Stanford and IBM, as I said. So that's the only time the red pill's offered at that moment. Neo doesn't have a choice. He either takes it or him and his family will die. So the red pill is bad. It's bad. It's forced upon Neo in the original work. The blue pill comes into play later. When Neo is cut from the program, when he goes to make a transaction on a screen and his credit's all gone, he realizes he's cut. The Oracle sends Trinity to help him get through the train station to end up an underground. In the underground, he's offered the blue pill. The blue pill is not based on the blood of the children. The blue pill is the good pill. The blue pill is what allows him to re-enter the program after he's cut off to take on Smith and the architect. So the blue pill is a re-entry pill, but it has painful side effects. It's not perfected. It's a bootleg pill, if you will, created for the purposes of getting back in that program. So it's not perfect. So that's what it is. It's not this. Alice in Wonderland, eat me, drink me. It's this, or you and your family die, red, based on the blood of the children, or this blue, which is innocent and good, that you can re-enter the program, but the cost will be painful side effects if you want to try to save humanity.
This is where the part of the thing called Adrenochrome comes in. And for people who don't know this, that is the title, right? The Immortals. This is the way
Yes,
you can
that's the title both
yeah, and
Warner
this is
Brothers and I use. Both of us use. Warner Brothers and I use the Immortals title.
And this is what the elite is working on. And this is a whole subject to itself. But this is how they are creating their youth and how they want to live forever and how they want to enslave us and how they're doing these things and getting the power because they're abusing children. And when you abuse a child to the limit of total fear, the blood in human body will extort this subject. And this subject is called the Adrenochrome. And they drink this blood. And that is how they get their power. So when Sophia Stewart comes out and says that, oh, I'm the original writer. I had the original script, which was like 33 pages, 33
pages, not even a screenplay.
Which had nothing to do with actual screenwriting. And she comes out in public and says, the red pill is based on the blood of the children, and it is a good thing. That says it all. You cannot drink the blood of the children and say that it's a good thing. This is evil at its core. You just like the movie, because I wanted to address this because this is not a movie that is a fantasy about a red pill and a blue pill. This is the actual choice you're getting in the grooming process for the elite. If you want to reach the power level in this world, you have to choose the red pill. You have to choose being so evil that you have no problem with sacrificing and eating and drinking the blood of the children. You have no choice. This is the level and the ladder you have to climb. And this is what you decline to do. Once I knew what the world was really about, all of these things, I lost all kind of, fear for man. I don't care if I'm in an audience with the president. I don't care, because like Job says, we're all human. We're all made of God, from God. But when I stand in front of someone who has sacrificed so much as you have, that is a total different level of respect for me. And I know that you chose not to take the red pill. You chose to say no to their offer. And this is why they have ripped your work apart and had used it and distorted it, because they couldn't have the real story come out, because that is a story of man connecting back to God and man not drinking the Kool-Aid and not being willing to sacrifice for power. But that, just like you did in the movie, you said he was offered, take the blue pill or die. So you are still alive. What has this cost you? If you're comfortable talking about it, and if you are, and if you want to, could you please also address how you can show that you know that it's connected to what is happening? Because just like you showed us all of these movie clips now, this is how the elite works. They show us everything in advance in movies and in the news and these circles. And if we don't stop it, if we don't shout out and say, no, we don't want this, we have approved. And then we are also guilty, right?
That's exactly right. They put it in plain sight before you. And if you disagree, even if you don't know, they figure that you've agreed.
Because you're a grown-up. We are supposed to know. We are supposed to be alive. We're supposed to be taking responsibility for our life and for our children's life and for our families, right? So we're supposed to know what's going on. We're not supposed to give our power to some leaders that claim authority without why. Why are we giving our power to them? So what did this cost you? And how did they show you that what the cost is a direct consequence of you saying no to the red pill?
This is a really hard but brilliant question. It cost me everything, and that's not a lie. And also, it's hard for me, but it's like, I need to be strong through it.
You don't have to.
But it's like, my two sons were killed, and I was told that they died because I refused to obey them. And that was done by a Disney attorney calling me and said that, yes, they were taken. And that my last son was alive, because it was to make me, because they said they knew that I was concerned for his safety, so it would make me not talk or share my story or claim my rights back. As far as claiming my rights, they called that daring to face them down. And that's why they said that's why all this has happened to me. I was supposed to join their side and be a script doctor. And they said I'd have the best of a life, even with my two sons dead. assume, the best of a life by laundering other people's work to use my expertise to seal their work. And then I would be held up and revered in the Hollywood studios and the cabal, because they would say that we're the ones that know you wrote it. The audiences don't understand that you wrote it. We made sure of that. So we're the only ones that really know your genius and will lift you and honor that you did the work. So there's this whole mind play they use to bring you into the fold, if you will.
And
They still consider me an asset. Yeah.
And this is an offer that you have received now after they have actually
That's
admitted
right.
that you killed your sons.
That's right. That's right. It's basically the red pill. So I've been offered the red pill a number of times, and the offers are quite elaborate, to be flown out with 10 other individuals I choose, to resort. If I don't like resorts, they'll put me in a new one. I'll be touring studios where I'll be mentoring other writers and teaching them the techniques that I was given and learned and developed, and would be held in high esteem, but I would never be known, but I would be very, very wealthy. One of the wealthiest in Hollywood. That's part of the story that they throw. But what's interesting is in the process of taking everything that you love and hold dear, including your intellectual property, they will put it in plain sight, like they did Elon Musk. Remember the Elon Musk materials? They did that with me also.
Yeah.
So you'll see the same process with me. If you want to see those now, I'll show you what they put in, unless I didn't answer your question sufficiently.
No, I know. I'd like to see that. This is the length they will go to. That people need to know these things. They need to know that the people they admire and celebrate as stars are actually this evil, that they will go through anything and they will kill off everything as long as they get what they want. Even after that,
yeah, that's right.
After that, they come to you with an offer.
The reason I'm alive is I'm considered an asset. Also, I'm supposed to watch the death of my dearest loved ones and be on this planet in a living death, in a living hell. And they want you to do that. So the idea in my screenplay that God gave me with a gun being laid out while the pill is offered by Smith to Neo, it's the same thing. They're saying, you can take your life if you want. If it's too much, take your life. They'll even tell you that.
Yeah, don't.
Or join us. Join us and have the beautiful women. They throw fame, money, they throw all that at you.
Yeah.
But I don't want the beautiful women. I want a normal life. I actually want to be a farmer. But I felt that God tapped me to do this, and I did it faithfully. So.
But you chose to stand up against them, and you chose to continue to fight, to retrieve what God has given you, although it cost you everything, and that's admirable. Just like we talked about, they show us everything in advance. Can you show us that scene from The Matrix when they're showing the world? Because they're saying to you that the audience doesn't know that you wrote it, but we know it. But they've shown it anyway. It's in the film. Could you show us these pieces, please?
Yes, I do. I want to show you something too. Right before that, I want to show you this here too, just to show you how the matchups are all through the original work. What you see, it's hard to see right now, but I'll read it to you. The scene from The Matrix. Now, you see a African-American man with headphones on, reading a screen with green scrolling blips as he navigates a ship and loud rock music is playing. Listen to what's from that original page right there in my screenplay. All right, so that's what's in the picture. Now let's take a look at what's in the screen, what it says. So this is what I was just showing you. The driver with the headphones on, listening to loud music from The Matrix, right? And let me read that top entry. A young driver is having a blast operating the tunneler and playing loud music. He watches the screen showing the scrolling map in green with blips on it. That's exactly, they took it exactly, that sentence. They took it exactly and did that full picture. That's not just lifting the work. That's lifting it in its full layers. So that's what I wanted to show you right there. Isn't that something? So there's a lot of switching they do because they weren't that bright. And I want to show you this too real quick. Goodness gracious, it is battling me. Okay, here we go. The original, that's my original pages right there from the train station scene. And it's a crowded train station scene, which they dulled down to just 3 individuals because they wanted to cheapen the budget, like go under budget less. So they cheapened it by getting rid of the crowd and putting just in the static family, well dressed. It's supposed to be poor families that are pushing their kids forward. Let's go to now what you talked about. I wanted to show you the matchup.
Explain to the audience while you're looking it up, because we talked about this before. We talked about how they're showing us everything in the movies, and they're showing us what they're gonna do, and they give us a choice to accept it or not. But they also do something else. They also show each other things through the movies. They're showing small clips that are too small for us to register with our minds, but are there. And this is one of those pages. Yeah, this is the one of the
first graphic. Right? It's the first graphic done in the Matrix. It's the first graphic in the first scene they shot, and it's the first scene I wrote, the interrogation scene. In that scene, Smith simply comes in and opens the folder to open it up, just opens the folder and flashes that shot. Now watch how fast it goes. I'm going to play the actual
scene.
This
is important. Yeah, this is so important.
The actual scene for you. So here we go. Let me see if I can get this to play. So watch this. Here's the actual scene from the Matrix where you're going to see the author's stuff completely flashed. Let me see if I can get it to go. Hold on. Let me see if I can go. It doesn't want to go right now. Hold on. No.
Are we doing better than last time anyway?
He's going to fight me. He's going to fight me. So let me see if I can get it to go. Okay, hold on. Come on, baby. Okay, it doesn't want to play. All right, anyway, I'll just if it doesn't, it's going to fight me, I'll just tell you. So this folder is going to open and flash for a split second.
Yeah, everyone can go watch the movie and see this
it's going to fight me right now. So let me see if there's any way to.
It's not even a second, you know. It's so quick.
Right. So right here, it just doesn't want to do it. But you can almost wait. Let me see if I can actually get it to go. It's worth see if I. Yeah, it's going. Okay, now it wants to go.
Okay, let's fight.
So
let's fight because
so I'm going to hold this and I'll show you. I'm going to do it this way. I'll fight it and get it to work. So look at this. Watch how fast it goes.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Watch again. Yeah. There it comes up again. One more time. Gone. Now, what does that show?
Just before you say what is showing here, because you have to think, you know, you have to think like an audience. What does that do? Why is that in there? There's no reason
that's a good point.
anyone to make a film like this, because it shows you nothing, it tells you nothing, it adds nothing to the story, but it does something else, and you're going to show us that, please.
That's right. It is a split second. It's shown for a split second, upside down, because the graphic designer, Susan Bolgen, even said, anything in for a split second is to keep the project interesting for the directors. It's never meant for audiences to see or understand. So it's flashed that fast for a split second. But on it is all my information. What they're doing is putting in plain sight, again, what you said. It says, okay, we showed it, and you didn't make a fuss because you didn't know about it. So therefore, you gave us permission to take it, and we're going to mock you through it. Is what's me. That's what the only reason I saw this is because an insider from the story department at Warner Brothers told me where to look and what was in there. He said they hate you, they don't understand your work, they're mocking you. I'm the only person that would recognize my high school, my birthday, my fiance's birthday, my dad's name. I'm the only one that would know that. Stacking it
in the way one page, people. All of this in one single page. All of this information.
Yeah,
there's no reason for that.
No,
just say this now. Remember now that there are other people, these brothers and this woman, who are claiming to be the writers of this script. Why? Right. Why are they connecting to someone called Tom Althouse and putting his information in a folder and putting it in the scene? Why? Right?
Right. And there's no way to change it. They can't alter it. They can't take it away. Every DVD, VHS has it on it. They can't take it now, and that's why Warner Brothers punished them.
Yeah,
made them turn into women.
Please.
So if you look at this, so if you look at it now, I'm glad you brought all that up. I'm going to point out the colors first. Orange. Orange is my birthday, as it was in records in 1999. My records were altered. July 2nd became July 22nd.
What?
Now watch this. Yes, they altered my records and erased my social security number. When they took the work. Yes. Also, the name of Neo is self-explanatory. Thomas A. In light blue, Thomas A. And Anderson. Why Anderson? Because when I was at the religious rite, a pastor stepped forward to his congregation and confessed to having sex in the sex ring of Pat Robertson. Yes, Pat Robertson's homosexual sex ring and pedophile ring. It operates with Disney. And he confessed to his congregation about having sex with Robertson himself and also his president of his school. He put his own sex partner in charge of the school. Even though he's married to Dee Dee, he never showed her. He was into men. So what happens is David Anderson stepped forward to Kempsville Presbyterian Church and explained to the congregation this has all happened. So when they took my work to cover it up, since I was exposed to the sex ring when I was at Robertson's organization, they melded our names together. They put our names together.
Exactly.
And so therefore you have
Mm.
Thomas A. Anderson. Isn't that incredible? So let me go ahead and put it, it just
Sure.
dropped.
You usually say this is just a coincidence. No, no,
Right.
no, no, no.
So I'm going to put in
Not
my,
possible.
oops, it's just, and now it just locked my computer. There it goes. Okay, so that's the blue. Thomas A. Anderson, blue and lavender. You have my birthday at top. The next entry is the yellow coming down. You have March 11. March 11 is the woman who I was engaged to be married to, my fiance at the pitch session, Otika Ball, niece of Senator David Bourne of the Democratic Party, senator. She was at the pitch session with me, so they made her birthday Neo's birthday. So Neo's birthday is my fiance's birthday. My name is above it. The man who confessed about the sex ring that brought me down at Robertson's organization is the last name of mine, Thomas A. Anderson. My birthday's above. Under that, you have in red my dad's name. So Neo's dad is my dad's name, John A. Under that, you have a green entry, or a blue is my marital status, single. Then you have in green my high school. Central West High is Neo's school. So my high school is Neo's school. Under that, you have Owen Patterson High, because the production manager, the joke in this, they put in the Owen Patterson, who's the production manager, as having his own high school. Michelle McGahee is listed as Neo's mom in brown there. Michelle McGahee is the art director. So they put a joke with the art director and the production manager who was responsible for this graphic being made in there as Neo's mom and other school, respectively. So you have my name, my birthday, my fiance's birthday, the city that I chose for the character to live in, capital city, Washington, D.C. You have Michelle McGahee as the mom. You have my dad's name as Neo's dad. You have my marital status. You have my high school as Neo's school. You have my aptitudes listed in yellow underneath. And you also have in the column TA 4099. Tom Althouse TA was 40 and 99 when it was made. Also, you have in blue, big numbers 380. 380. 380 is numerology, and it goes back to what you talked about. 380, they said they were into numerology. They had somebody look this up, apparently. So 380 means to take, as I understand, take your most cherished worldly possessions to help you prepare for your death. We're going to take it and take care of your cherished worldly possessions so you can have peace in your death. It's a joke. It's a nasty, horrible, evil joke, which reflects how evil they are.
Yes.
See that? So that's what they did. Now here, I want to show you something amazing. Here is Kempsville Presbyterian Church from the resume of David Gyertson, who was the top public relations man for Pat Robertson, the televangelist, who went in place at Kempsville Presbyterian Church. After the pastor stepped forward, the PR man, public relations man, became in charge of the church to shut down the story and that what the pastor had confessed. And in the very entry on his resume, it says this. Let me read it to you. It says, served as an interim senior minister for a 2,000-member PCUSA congregation while they searched for a new pastor. It took a year. Supervised a staff of about 20 full-time employees and ministers and managed a budget of about $1.5 million. They got money in Robertson's organization. Here's the big sentence. Stabilized the congregation after the loss of the previous pastor due to a moral failure. He stepped forward to confess the sex ring with Pat Robertson. Provided direction for the development of a new strategic plan. When in church do you need a new strategic plan? Strategy against what? And assisted with the transition to a new senior minister. Isn't that amazing? There is what brings down the house on the cabal. It's the crack in their world. And here is a graphic that shows, that's my high school diploma on the side. You'll see Otika Ball, the girl I was engaged to. It's very small. Owen Patterson's on there. The credits show Michelle McGahee. I can send this to you later, but it has all that on there. Also, one last thing. Here's what's in the animatrix. See the clock? So in the Animatrix, the reason they did Animatrix, at the end of the Matrix in 2 and 3, the installments shot in 2 and 3, in 2003, they also shot the Animatrix. The Animatrix was to use up everything that they didn't get to use off the visual storyboard that they used to lift the work off the Immortals. So any of the things they didn't get to use, they put into shorts using their favorite Japanese directors. And this fills the screen. 7/2/59 in black, one before the 60s. 7/2/59 is my exact birthday. 4 past the 4 in red is my age, 44 in 2003. A red 4 means that there will be an assassination attempt. It's a clue, take this man out or woman. Also in Animatrix, you have this filling the screen. It's my name across the screen in the graphic. Tom Park Althouse. They put Mopar in the middle. The antique shop is turned into an antique house to make the joke, and the clocks are all set with my birthday. Yeah. It's an antique shop with clocks.
Clocks.
And they all have my birthday. Anyway, isn't that something? Yeah. So later I can show you all the matchups if you want to go into that. I'm running out of time, but
we're running out of time. Yeah.
But I want to talk about this too later. I'll talk about the boys if you'd like, because I want to honor their memory. And why this character Bane is so important in the screenplay. That's Otika Ball, the girl I was engaged to be married to, that was at the pitch session, who they used Neo's birthday for Neo's birthday.
Yeah.
And which is pretty amazing. And also, that's something really wild about it all too, is that Neo has 2 birthdays. They give Neo 2 birthdays. 1, my fiance's at the time, and 2, mine, right here. On his passport, it says September 13th is his birthday. On the listing I just showed you, the interrogation scene rap sheet, which is flashed just before this is shown, his birthday is March 11th, my fiance's birthday. They gave him 2 birthdays to do the joke, and also 2 names. You don't double name a character in a screenplay. They named Neo and Thomas A. Yeah. So I want to leave it with you that right now is that they did so much to push what you talked about, and no one was ever supposed to know. We all know now, and now we're coming back at them. We will give this glory back to God. We knew it was being His timing, and that He would have it happen. It's happening right now. Elon Musk's fall. There is resignations happening all over Warner Brothers and in the agencies. And also, just one more thing for you: the agents broke into my home when I was in.
This is really interesting. While you pick that out, I'm gonna say it because we talked about CIA before and the FBI, and make no mistakes, people. These organizations are in the same cabal, they're in the same elite, and they're working together, all of them. There's no us against them in that criteria. They are all in on this. There are good people there too, like there's good people everywhere. Of course there are. But the main organization is built not to help us, but to destroy us and to work for the UN agenda and to lower the population and all of these things. And they're all in on it. So when there are whistleblowers coming out of there, they are walking a really, really thin line, just like you have been with your life, because you're in the middle of it and I'm just standing on the outside looking in. But I can feel like if for anyone who has ever run a race, it feels like when you can spot the finish line ahead, right? You can smell the victory. You can feel like, okay, we're almost there. And it feels like that, right? It feels like
that is the exact image I have in my heart and head. I used to be a runner. That's exactly what I'm looking at and seeing and feeling and experiencing.
And that's why all of this information is coming about. This is why the whistleblowers are coming, and like he's going to show you now, they're breaking into your home, not to steal from you, but to give something back to you, to place evidence back in your position. This is unbelievable. Please show us what they did.
Yes, they're now calling it a break back. When you enter your home and restore the information you need, it's called a break back now. And so I didn't even know there was a term for it. So that's being coined now. And what's interesting is the agents in my screenplay are actually, in the end, the architect purges them like they did in The Matrix. He purges them. But in mine, they join the underground. They join the good side. They help Neo. And that's exactly what's going on now. These original drafts that were taken by Warner Bros. Attorneys.
That's 1993.
Yeah. Is being restored to my house. These were all stolen by Warner Bros. Attorneys with a Planet attorney that was their classmate with a suspended license. All these are now being restored. This one, here's another one was taken directly it was taken in 2012 from my dining room table when this Planet attorney was there named Tony Rankin. He took it, ripped it from our place. When he said he had to take a call from Warner Brothers. And so here's this original draft restored also, which proved. Here's another one, the original one sent to my friend Greg Mazer from the Hallmark Channel with the included notes that he sent back, the 99 complete 93 script and his testimony. So that was restored in the stack on my bed in my bedroom. And also the full script that was ripped from my poor man's patent, the 1993 version, is restored. Restored. All these restored. And from what I understand from Michael Jaco, who was in the CIA and also Navy SEALs, There are, as you said, good people in the agencies, but they cannot risk their families and their careers until they're sure they have the winning ticket, until they're sure they have the people with the heart and the resolve to see it through. They're not going to throw their families away. And when they have that, they will move forward, and they just did. They saw it.
So amazing.
I will leave you with that.
Yeah, so we're running out of time. I knew it. There was so much to talk about, and we still haven't covered everything. If you want to come back later,
I would love to come back later and cover the matchups and things like that, and anything you want to discuss, even audience questions. So yeah,
because we're on the finish line, so it will be interesting if people want to know what happens and how this really this is going to explode somehow. I know it, but can you just maybe leave us with one final thing, because I was just thinking, this has been a long time. 1993, this is a long fight, and it had cost you so much. Most people who are awake don't have a problem with, like Aaron Rosso, you know, as soon as he went out and told everybody he had a heart attack, and most of us don't fear that because it's our life and we belong to God. It doesn't matter. But the price that you have paid, it's so much heavier, and I can't even imagine. How are you still fighting? Why are you still fighting? And why don't you say just take it?
First of all, in honor of the memory of my loved ones that were killed, I'm going to lift their memory. What the other side doesn't understand, that compassion is much stronger than the desire for power, which is what they embrace. I tried to explain that to them.
That is so true. Yeah.
And so what happens is, if you have compassion, there's no way you're going to take your life. It keeps you going, because if you take your life, you can't give anymore. You can't help anymore. You can't be there for people anymore. So you don't take your life. They fail on that aspect. Also, you're going to honor the memory of your loved ones. If you're a father or mother who has their loved ones killed, you're going to live on in their memory and lift their memory and hold their memory dear to your heart. You're not going to disappear. You're not going to disappear. And it's not going to be this. It's going to be this. Elon got it wrong. He doesn't have that heart. Another idea was that God told me, what I got given to me was that I would have the cup of Christ, which meant I had to have the sufferings. I'm not Christ, but I had to experience the sufferings that akin to what he suffered: alienation, betrayal, loss, and that cup would not be taken from me. But the thing is, by having that cup, I have now been able to defeat, along with others like yourself, bring everything to light, which brought them down. Disney's attorney said speaking is what brought them down, which caused to win the chess game. The sufferings were important because that's what kept me alive. They wanted to see me suffer on earth, these studio heads and agents at the time that were bad. They wanted to see me suffer on earth a living hell. Because of that, I'm still alive. And so they made a huge mistake. And I was able to endure and come to the finish line now, as you said. See the finish line. I feel strong. I'm going to finish strong. I'll not give up. I lift the loved ones in memory. Every child is worth it. Every elderly person is worth it. All of us are worth it. That's the only way we'll evolve, is as children of God, imagining that we cannot do without any of us, that we have to have all of us to cross the finish line. Thank you.
It's so great. Oh, this is so much information to take on. I hope everyone got something from this. Please rewatch it and share it with your friends. Share it with someone who is awake, someone who needs to be awake, someone who is standing on the wall, not knowing which side to stand on. We need everyone to stand up, to stand on the wall and take their, like the sword in one hand and the trumpet in the other one. We all have to stand up and speak what is right, and share each other's stories, of these stories that are important. Thank you so much, Tom, for coming on, and I hope I will speak to you again, and God bless you.
God bless you, and I look forward to next time we can go over the match, things like that, and also we can field some questions. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. God bless.